Good morning, YouTubers. Well, gosh, I tell you what, I am so far behind. I have a lot of videos on this chip, but we are just that busy. That's what happens to me when I get to this stage. I know the calves are like, oh, we're tired of running up here, and you're not really bringing us any feed. But I am going to bring them feed. I'm going to give them some water here in a minute. But I know that they're going to want it. Here they are. There's the bull over there. Look at them. They're like, you're here, but you're not really coming here. Oh, there they go. Yeah, look at them. You are going to feed us. You are going to feed us. Yeah, lick them lips. Dump one. We'll dump two. You girls are looking pretty sporty. Here's the other one. Yep, there you go. Oh, now you both got to get your heads in there. Why did I bring that one over there? There's the white one. Go to the white tub. It's speaking to you. There's no more in one than the other. Yeah. All right, well, saving some grass for moving calves here very soon. That's got to get done. Don't want it to get dry. We got a rain spell coming in here today. Supposed to be. I hope we get some. Definitely, I planted some corn, planted some green beans yesterday. I haven't done very well showing you my planting either. It's just been one of those days. I showed you guys a few things, but all right, let me go ahead, and today I'll show you what we did out there in the field the last 2 days with the woven fabric. Did get my cantaloupes done, and now it's time to move. I'm sorry, I got my squashes done. Now it's time to get cantaloupes. So let's get them rolling. Now that Delia's gone to the farmer's market, the sun is up. I need to get out here and lower the high tunnels, take the covers off of our stuff. I'm gonna be planting some watermelon today. We have some crimson sweet and sangria. So we got an oblong one and a round one, or a oval one. So let me lower all these curtains down, and we'll get some watering done in here. There's our outside cucumbers. They're starting to gain a little bit of ground. These here are the plants I planted the other day. They're starting to also gain their feed underneath of them. Getting a lot of, we have a lot of stuff happening. But let me go and open up right now it's warm enough. During our days, getting up near 80. I think Delia and I later on ought to put our shade cloths on. That's probably a necessary thing, but let me go ahead here first and raise up this end curtain. I think we'll go a long ways if we get that done. Look at how wonderful the onions are doing. Hard to believe we're at May 10th. I think that's right. I'm awful close. It's no more than May 11th if it is. But look at how big those onions are right now. Delia's been out here. Well, we both have been, but she's been out here longer than I have. But we've been pulling some of that palm amaranth growing next to them. We got to get these empty here. They're getting big enough they're going to start sealing off. everything. But right now, I got to stay focused. You know, it's easy to just quickly say, oh, I got to get this done, I got to get this done. And then you get nothing done, right? That's the thing. So let's go ahead and move this fabric off of these rows so we can have a little more sunlight in there. Look at how wonderful the onions are doing. Hard to believe we're at May 10th. I think that's right. I'm awful close. It's no more than May 11th if it is. But look at how big those onions are right now. Delia's been out here. Well, we both have been, but she's been out here longer than I have. But we've been pulling some of that palm amaranth growing next to them. We got to get these empty here. They're getting big enough. They're going to start sealing off everything. But right now, I got to stay focused. You know, it's easy to just quickly say, oh, I got to get this done, I got to get this done. And then you get nothing done, right? That's the thing. So let's go ahead and move this fabric off of these rows so we can have a little more sunlight in there. Well, here's the progress of the broccoli. It's not one, there's a little floret right there. So that one's just starting. So look at this. Look at how closed up the cauliflower is. I've heard of varieties that do self-clothing. Let me change that. And maybe this is one of them. See how the leaves are back? I'm not saying that's what it is, but I've heard of it. So we're starting to get, boy, they're barely getting started, these little broccoli florets, but I did see the one. You were there. Let's keep on going here. And yeah, got one broccoli floret starting, so that's good. All right, so we're get some woven. I'm gonna get the weed eater, get out there. Now the weeds have to be pulled out of that plastic, and then we'll lay down our next batch. And same thing there, but we can go ahead and get these 3 rows ready, so we can advance the day. Everything is just taking off. If it wasn't for the lettuce down there, I'd probably have no problem on leaving these uncovered too, but right now we got that. But so far the insects damage has been non-existent for the most degree. We have a little insect damage, but not too much. Just sliding them over. You know, this row cover is one of the best decisions, and the woven fabric, one of the best decisions we have made. I hope we encourage you to take advantage of it. And isn't it nice without the wind in our videos? Look how nice. Look at how nice all this red cabbage is. Isn't that something? Yeah. And we're starting to get, it's just starting to curl in the cabbage. There's one insect damage there. Just starting to curl up inside of those, inside the whorl. I don't know what you call it inside of a cabbage. In a corn, that'd be a whorl. Here goes Maddie. And just keep flopping it over. Now this is the lowest spot, that's the wettest spot. So you notice how all of a sudden the cabbages, and you'll see where everything is a little more challenged. Everything gets smaller, you get too much water. Yep. This ain't as bad as the cauliflower because we're still on a hill. Down there you can see real water saturation. There we go. Everybody's uncovered. It's as it should be. Very good. Let's go in here and help with some pollination. Let's do our pollination. That has to get done. Look at the size of that tomato. It's too bad there ain't any else other ready to go. But we'll go do that. Bang the post. That is done. I think I'm gonna try to encourage a little more blooms in this next week's fertilizer. Put a little bloom booster in there. Everything's coming though. Everything's coming. These here do need to be tied up, but there's still a lot that are not quite there. There's a sucker, that's probably why. But gotta be a little careful. I don't get too far ahead. Look at all these suckers that need to be tucked in. Goodness gracious. That happens. That happens. Being gentle, making sure you don't break the suckers, but I think we're at a stage now where I'm going to have to spend a good quality time and be a little more proficient at getting these suckers brought back into it, because just like this, if you don't, you're going to end up with a lot of tomatoes laying in the aisleway. So you just got to figure out for each one the best way to get it in. There we go. Got one in, and we get the other in. There we are. Yep. So fix that problem right there. Maddie went and jumped in the pond. Now she'll start hanging around. She doesn't really go for a swim. She's more of a piddle paddler. She'll piddle and paddle in the mud, and the water's edge, but she really won't work too hard at it. I'm gonna keep her out of the small high tunnel because she has no regards for small plants. When all these get taller, it's not a problem. But right now, her tendency is she's just going. She is just going. So, all right, let me go ahead and get some water here. Give everybody a good soaking. Now the watermelon, I'm probably not gonna, let me feel how heavy or how conditioned these guys are. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna water them. You get them too wet, they really don't want to come out of their trays. That's what I've noticed. You guys tell me what you guys notice, but to me, they don't want to come out of their trays. So try to hold them back a little bit on that. We got to get our okra planted. A lot going on. Let's go ahead and get to watering everybody else. The watering is done. There's old Maddie saying, well, why couldn't I come in here? I could have sat there and run over all your plants. Here's a sucker. A lot to do today. Keep going here. All right, Maddie. You know you're too wet. You're too wet to go in the house. You're gonna have to sit out here with me, baby. That's all there is to it. Okay, so I just finished out this cantaloupe row with sangria watermelon. I have that in place. This is last So today is Saturday, so these are planted Monday. And this is the butternut squash, acorn squash, and spaghetti squash. Over here was, there is the very first sangria. Then we jump right into Aphrodite, which is planted yesterday, Aphrodite and Athena. So they're all still here. And I think Maddie's ready to head back to the house, and I need to go ahead and switch the water in the high tunnel. So let me go get that, and I'll take her back, take my water bottle back. You ready to go, Mad? You ready to go? You ready to go? Let's go. Look at her go. Okay, so I just finished out this cantaloupe row with sangria watermelon. I have that in place. This is so today is Saturday, so these are planted Monday. And this is the butternut squash, acorn squash, and spaghetti squash. Over here was, there is the very first sangria. Then we jump right into Aphrodite, which is planted yesterday, Aphrodite and Athena. So they're all still here. And I think Maddie's ready to head back to the house, and I need to go ahead and switch the water in the high tunnel. So let me go get that, and I'll take her back, take my water bottle back. You ready to go, Mad? You ready to go? You ready to go? Let's go. Look at her go. We'll keep her going, and the strawberries, they are turning. I had to pick some asparagus earlier, and of course these are not quite, these are called Brunswick. These 3 rows are Brunswick. Now don't let the size of the plants fool you. That's probably on us from last year. I'm certain that next year these will even be fuller, but boy, they do have some big. Look at the size. Look at the size of that Brunswick. Look at that big old rascal. Yeah, nice strawberries. So you gotta pick strawberries later today. I'm happy to be getting on our program here of the squashes, get everything in. It's a race. Don't let anybody fool you. It's a race to get all this stuff done. Now, I saw where one of our acquaintances, and a very big vegetable farmer and wholesaler and things like that, he's already done with his seedless watermelon plant, and it has 11,000 seeds left that he's offering up for sale. Isn't that something? 11,000 seedless watermelon plants for sale, and out in Cortland, Kansas. So anyway, I'm certain another big company has already called him up on that. But anyway, I'm gonna go switch the water around. Maddie, you ready to go back to the house? Of course you are. All right, we're gonna get that done. All right, now that I have this row totally done, also spent a little time trying to get down here at the very end. You see how that's all weedy and everything, kind of hard to mow, that kind of stuff, and plus the weeds just kind of take over. I just taking these short pieces that are left over, and like I extended it out here and even added 3 more watermelon to the row. I didn't have to, but just kind of squared it up. I'll do the same thing. I'll find another short piece of fabric just so I can go ahead, and it just makes it cleaner for mowing, keep the weeds down. Remember, in my opinion, the weeds create the environment for your insects and things like that. That's why I'm, it's not just about nutrients and keeping the nutrients just for our crop, but it's also because the insects, it creates a place for the insects to thrive. I can see out here, look at how much the grass or the weeds are taking off out there now. And so now we got to finish this rows out, but finish out that sangria. So now I'm going to start the next sangria right here, and we'll continue it on. So basically wrapping it down and coming back and working our way back up. This is kind of my predominant wet zone. If we get in a lot of water, something like that, at least I'll have everything planted. I can't tell you how happy I am to have full, complete rows. All of these rows are the same age, obviously. They all been planted at the same time. That gives us a great, gives me the opportunity to manage the fertilizer properly. So that's good to know. So let me go ahead and continue on here. Let's get to planting one more flat of sangria before we step over to other varieties. So we'll keep going here. Yeah, having these slightly dry, and they're not root bound by any means, but it does help pull the plant from the trays. Having it really saturated doesn't seem to go very well, but boy, I know these guys are just going to take off now that we have that. Let me keep on going down. This is exciting. I'll put sangria right here just for us to know again that we're starting from, and pull some of this doggone horse nettle out from underneath of the plastic. I may come in here with some bits and pieces, and it's where all the deer have stepped into here. May try to see what I can do to kind of patch it up a little bit, make it less weedy. There we go. Yeah, I couldn't do this with a machine. I'd have to let these be a little more mature out here, but because we're not using a machine, we can keep going. So very good. Sangria watermelon. Here we are. Keep on going. That one was really dry. It's all right. There's a lot of moisture here in the ground. It'll take right off. There we go. So yesterday I found out, or 2 days ago, yeah, I guess it's yesterday, I found out my blood work came back, and what many of you don't know, I have been really battling, which you can see that I was really battling my weight. Couldn't really get a handle on it. Well, in 2022, they found out that I had a hyperthyroid. So I was put on medication to slow that thyroid down. And subsequently, I gained a lot of weight, and I couldn't stop it. I really haven't, I mean, okay, I do. Who doesn't like ice cream with their strawberries, right? But anyway, but I wasn't going too crazy. I've eaten a lot more as a young man. And here I am now, 63, and I have a hyperthyroid. It's like the worst possible storm possible, where I'm gaining weight and I can't stop it. I just can't stop it. It's going. Well, we did our blood work and come to find out that we went too far the other way. So my medication is being cut by 2/3. I still have to take medication, but we're going to try to bring it back to normal. And so hopefully I can lose a lot of this lard that I put on and get myself right. But boy, that thyroid, it really it really let me know that I was not, oh, there's my water. I gotta go turn the water off down there. Let me plant one more. But it really did slow me down. All right, I finished planting my second flat of sangria. Nice to be on row number 3. I am ready now to move on to Crimson Sweet in this row, but I think the sense of urgency now, I got the biggest, the most mature watermelon, the way that they grew, out of the way, and the cantaloupe, they're out of the way. I have everything there. So now I know we have to get our squash and zucchini in the ground, which should have already been in, but bottom line is we're ready to go that direction now. So why don't I go out there, get the weed eater, and kind of knock that down. This is terrible, have to weed eat before you can really plant it, but I got a plan. Trust me, I got a plan. We'll see how I do here. Well, I never really got a chance to get back to you guys. It's just been a busy time. Happy Mother's Day to mothers everywhere, and certainly happy Mother's Day to my mom and to my wife, who is a mother. And we have been picking a lot of strawberries on this Mother's Day, and this is just what I picked this evening. And something else we did that I didn't really, I didn't talk about it, but it got so hot today in the 80s, we actually put on our shade cloths, both of them, for the big house and the small house. What a difference that made right away. I mean, if you've never used a shade cloth, when you're getting up into the 80s and stuff like that, it will drop your temperature. And everything in here, it'll actually, ironically, you'll see your plants, you know, they get real pale, kind of sunburned and things like that. Well, now that we have the shade cloth on it, I'll just aim it toward the other building. You can see the shade cloth. This is a 50% shade. And you'll see where your plants are going to be rewarding you greatly for that. So it's not going to rain tonight, so I am going to keep my high tunnel open. However, just to keep the honest raccoon out or what have you, there's really nothing to eat in there unless you're a cow. But let's just get it up here and leave it about like that. Kind of keep the deer out. And not that I've ever had a deer in here, but somebody in this has ever had a deer. If you've had a deer, why don't you guys let us know? Let's go ahead and raise up this side. Get this side raised up. We're gonna have to come up with something out here because yes, everything's growing very nice, but it's awfully hot on lettuces. Now, I added some more water. I went and watered in here today because these guys are feeling awful sorry for themselves, and that's the honest truth. Let's go in here into the big high tunnel. And like I said, you're going to see where I need to get in here and put a third string on these guys. But, yeah, look at this. Look at how much they have grown. Look at that. I mean, when they're starting to get bushy on the outside, it's time to do it. Let's go ahead and shake the bushes and try to help my pollinating a little bit. Temperature is perfect for it. Just shake it. Let's get some more ovulation going on here. Hey folks, if you like these types of videos, do me a favor, hit that like and subscribe. Come grow with us.